live from Israel. The man who changed the course of my life. He literally sent me down a path that I never could have imagined. Guy, welcome to Bobby D Live.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm good. You're on the road?
I'm on the road right now, yes.
And that's cool. Well, thank you for taking the time. I started explaining the story of where I was at a year ago, but I'll repeat it because not everybody were live online. But a year and 4 months ago, I was stuck, and things were not going well. My dream had collapsed, and on June 23rd, 2012, I reached out on a Skype call to Guy, and I said, Guy, here's the scoop. My dream just fell apart. I'm literally homeless. I'm renting a condo from my attorney, and month to month, I got no revenues coming in now. I've got no money left except for the rent for next month. And I asked him two critical questions. I asked him, should I stay in Costa Rica, and should I keep doing things the way I'm doing them? And he looked at everything and advised me to move to Brazil. And he said, don't ask any questions. So what I want him to share with you today is what gave him the confidence, and what did you see? So first of all, how did you conclude that, Guy, that I had to be in Brazil?
So there is a very nice technique called Astrocartography. Astrocartography. That means, that means that I take the chart of the person, the astrology chart, and I put it on the globe, on the map of the world.
Okay.
And then I see the lines of the planets, where are they land. So I can know the best place for love, the best place for money, best place for relationship, for building a house, or whatever you want. I can see it on the chart. Now, this is an energy. Each planet has an energy, and it's very strong. And when you put the chart on the globe, and right away you see the lines, the good lines and the bad lines, the good planets and the bad planets. And when I put your chart on the globe, and it sets to the place that you were born, and from the place that you were born, the lines are going out, and then you go with the path that you see. And there was an interesting line, the line of prosperity, good luck, fortune, and it landed right on Brazil, and it conjunct with another line. So there was a crossroad on Brazil. So I said to you immediately, I don't care where you live right now, what do you do? Go to Brazil, because this place will bring you a good fortune, a good luck, relationship, love, everything. So it's like a one big package. So Brazil is a very big place, and
Yes.
I thought I told you it's near Rio de Janeiro, should be, and but it's okay. The more closer you are to the line, it's more powerful. But anyway, Brazil as a whole is good for you. The culture, the people, everything. Now, it doesn't take in this instant. That means that it can go, like everything in life, it takes some time. Sometimes it takes a few months, sometimes it takes 1 year. Sometimes it goes less. Once I sent a person to India, and I gave him the exact city that the good line, the prosperity and relationship was, fall on that city. So he had no problem with money and stuff. So he bought a flight ticket and he go there, and he met the love of his life over there. And he sent me email from India. It was incredible. So that's what gave me the confidence to give you the locality where you should be living. And I think it's an amazing story.
Well,
What happened to you?
It's a crazy story, and it's a book in the making, and I already have a title for the book. But see, what people don't know, Guy knows obviously, what you don't know is within the time he told me, June 23rd, he says, move to Brazil. He gave me an option of another country, and I had to do due diligence in 2 days, June 25th. I said, okay, I'm going to Brazil. So I texted him and I said, okay, I made the decision, I'm going to Brazil. From the minute I made the decision, and then you'll hear the other interview with the fairy godmother coming up after Guy, the other decision that I had made 6 months before, those two decisions combined, it just, all of a sudden, I started receiving contracts, people contacting me to work with them. And the contracts lined up in a matter of a few weeks. And then Guy had told me, you got to move there before January 2013. Well, at the time he told me that, you don't have a penny. You don't know where your next dollar is going to come from. You got to say, all right, okay, I'll find a way. But what happened is I ended up being here September 2nd, 2012. I was here 4 months earlier than anticipated. And I'll always remember when I decided, first of all, I met this lady through a relocation specialist that I was in conversation with, and I was just falling in love with her because we were communicating back and forth about Brazil, where should I move, blah, blah, blah. I went back to Guy and I said, Guy, I want to move there September 1st. He looked at the chart. He says, no, you got to land there on September 2nd. I said, okay, bye-bye. Guy, so I looked at the airline tickets, and the only airline ticket I could get from Costa Rica to Brazil was landing here on September 2nd, 12:06 a.m. Well, how many of you have ever had your air travels arrive on time? I was afraid of a major tailwind that would get me here on September 1st. See, I became extremely, I'll call it what it is, fanatical Guy in listening to September 2nd, I had to land there. I was afraid I'd land on September 1st because what Guy told me, before he told me Brazil, he told me two things about my past. One about a health issue, and one about a relationship issue with my immediate family, my two siblings, my parents, that nobody else knew. He was able to see that on my chart, and I said, if you can see that on my chart, you can obviously tell me where I need to be. So from the minute I made the decision, the contract showed up. Just give you another example in your accuracy. Just don't ask questions. Just go. Usually it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get a visa for Brazil. Take a while, guess how long it took me to get the visa? 24 hours. See, I knew in August, I had to do a few things before and meet with the embassy. I got it in 24 hours. So I knew that what he advised me was working because I'd never been in such a beautiful flow. Now, getting to Brazil was no problem. I got here, I landed. Man, I've been happy. I've had adversity, though. A lot of adversity. And Guy, remember when I connected with you in October, I said, now, I wasn't ready for all this. Once I'm here, he says, do you want to really know why you're there? And he says, it's to reconnect with your heart. Love, money, and energy. So when you, so enough about my story because we got Guy here, but I wanted to frame the conversation so you guys understand what he's advising me. Don't ask questions. I say yes. Everything lined up so beautifully. So let's talk about, I'm here in October, and all of a sudden I can't get the kind of internet connection. They can't deliver the bandwidth. I'm stuck in this apartment for 4 months, no internet virtually. I mean, I'm using the Wi-Fi from the apartment hotel, and it's down most of the time. Explain that. Okay, I got here, it worked beautifully, and now it's adversity after adversity after adversity.
Yeah. So first of all, you need to know that there is time to adjustment. You need to. Yes, it's all about you getting to know the language, getting to know the culture, and you needed the healing power to start working on you, because you came from hell into heaven, but you brought with yourself all the experience from the past, and you had to go like a process of cleaning yourself and healing. And you come from one world into another world. It's different, it's strange, everything, all the rules are different, so you need a little time to adjust. And that's what happened to you. And you had no money, nothing at all, no internet connection. You were with yourself. Now this is very important because when you had your internet and you did your broadcasting and all this stuff, you were connected to a lot of people, other people, but not connected to yourself and to your heart. Now this is very important because when there is quiet, then you listen. When there is a lot of noise around you, then you are deaf. You don't listen to what your heart needs to say. And when I open a astrology chart, in the chart it is written what my heart wants, what is the purpose of my life, what I need to do, okay, what is the path, the faith, the destiny of my life. And when people call me from all around the world, I give service to all the globe. In English, of course. I don't speak other language. And each person is different. Even twins, they have the same identical chart. Yeah. It's different soul. It's different. Things. By timing, things happens very the same for them, but one of them get married, the other one don't get married, and stuff like that. But how many people that they are twins are or more calling me. So when somebody calls me and they give me his accurate date of birth and the time of birth, so I know everything about him. Well, I just translate the language, which astrology, and astrology is very, very precise. It's like a science, it's very precise. If you know the exact time, so you can advance the chart. We call it progression. We progress the chart. Like 1 day after your birth is equal to 1 year of life.
Wow. On the chart. Wow. I didn't know that.
When I do that, I can see what happens to you in that year, on that year, if you want to sell your house, if you want to move, to relocate, to get married, to get divorced, everything. You can see it, and it's working like magic.
Well, it is magic. It is magic. Let me add to what you're saying, because back in January, we were having another consultation because, things were rough. As you know, I don't need to get into the detail, but things were rough over here. Not from a relationship standpoint. I've got a beautiful relationship with my lady here, but from a business standpoint, from a money flow, it was rough. You said in July things are going to start flowing, and you were bang on. I had a remarkable July. In fact, July was the first month in years where I generated good dollars, and I was able to get this studio and get the equipment. You nailed it, not by chance, by chart.
By the chart, by the planets. When
Amazing.
We see conjunction of planets. If something in the sky hits a planet in your chart, then boom, nothing can stop it. Okay? Well, when the luck is knocking on your door, you have to open that. Okay? And it can break through without your permission. And also bad luck. Okay? And if you don't listen to yourself, when I say listen to yourself, is like to be aligned with your natal chart, with your identity, with your character, with yourself, and you can see it on the chart. It's amazing. I tell you, I have a lot of stories all around the world from people that use my service, and I help a lot. And I'm fortunate because this is my destiny to help other people. But how I help them? I give them the knowledge. I give them the timing. I translate the energy to a plain, simple English, plain, simple language, so everybody can understand that.
Yes.
And once you know that path and what's going towards you, what is ahead of you, you can prepare. It's amazing.
Well, you have amazing track record. I mean, again, the stories. I mean, I know the precision of your work. You have another amazing story. We shared it on the video call the other day. I'm sure not everybody caught it. The story of the young man who was in a fashion business in the UK.
Yeah,
Similar
that's right.
story. Share that story again, because that's incredible.
So if you, the guy name is the brand name is Kolunga, and he met me in a hotel in Tel Aviv. He came to Israel for a conference here, and he heard about me, and I met him. He was in his at the beginning of his road, and he didn't know what to do. And he was a very poor guy, and I opened the chart, and I was shocked to see how blessed he is and what great business he is going to make, and a lot of fortune and money, and he's going to be very famous. Now, and I told him that, and told him the exact dates and what's going to be with him. And he said he was, a little bit suspicious at first because he didn't believe in himself. He didn't know how talented he is. And few years later, I had a vision for him. After 2 weeks after I met him, the name Kolunga with a C, Kolunga, in my head. And then I saw a vision, and I saw the logo of the company. Now I have a graphic talent. I can do graphics, logos, and stuff. I love that. I never learned it. It comes from natural to me. So I draw this, and I send it to him in email. I send email to him with the logo, and I told him, look, this is how I see your brand. The name with the crown, something very expensive, looks great. And I told him, use it. It will bring you luck. I don't know. That's how I see it. That's how I got the vision. And I didn't expect that he will use it, but he did. He did. And he started his business. He called it Kolunga, of course. He used the logo. He opened the website for that. And few years later, it was so success that he opened a branch in Mexico. And he also got a letter from Buckingham Palace, from the royal family, the Buckingham Palace, thanking him for the contribution of his fashion to the British culture. Now it was shocking. Believe him, he was nothing, What I'm going to do, you see the potential in the chart.
Yes, you see the potential in the chart. That's the key. Now, will the person act on the potential? They either have to be confident at a time when they're not confident, and you have a way to bring it about where you instill confidence. I'm going to tell you that much. That's a skill that you have, or a gift, one of the two.
I can connect to the person because, first of all, I'm very sensitive and I have the gift of channeling, although I don't call myself, a medium, but I am. I'm an astrologer, but I have the sensitivity to know with whom I'm talking with. And, each one is different. So, they are sensitive, they are more rough people. So, you need to know how to communicate. Yes. Okay, and how to deliver a message. It's a message, and I do it like channeling, bringing the message to the person. Now, I can bring you to the well, but you have to drink the water. Yes. I cannot pull the water for you to drink it. That's the main thing. And we are in the planet of choice. This is the planet of choice, and we have to make the decision. Every day we're facing decision, from the little things to the big ones. But if you know that it's going to be raining, it's going to rain, okay? And know it in advance so you can prepare. Take an umbrella, stay at home. You cannot stop this influence, okay? And if you know that a big fortune is knocking on, it will be tomorrow, next day, and you have there's a big fair, a lot of important people will come to this fair, and if you will meet one of them, your life will change, and you know it from advance. You will stay at home at this day? No. Okay, you will go to this fair, to this
Yes.
conference, whatever. That's the whole point.
Knowing the right time to make decisions as well. I started tapping into that understanding through the teachings of Kabbalah, and I had a mentor who was from Israel. We lived in California at the time, and I had a conflict in 2006 when you and I met, and we were doing our retreat in Costa Rica. All of a sudden, we were generating a lot of sales, a lot of revenue, and PayPal had frozen our funds because we went from zero to hero. We went from zero to nearly 100,000 in the bank account. So PayPal interprets that as potential fraud, right? So they freeze your account. Well, we were 4 or 5 weeks away from the retreat, and we need that money to pay the vendors, the hotels, right? You guys paid. So we didn't tell anybody at the time. So I reached out to my Kabbalah mentor, Yuad Azur, which I believe you met. Yes,
Of course.
you met him. And we were going to take legal action, my partner and I at the time, against PayPal, but who's going to fight that giant, right? He says, this was a Thursday. I'll always remember the conversation. It was in August. I don't remember the date. He says, do not contact them. The wrong time in the cosmos. Wrong time. The planets are not aligned for you to contact. There's too much chaos. Do not contact them till Monday, but chances are, if you listen to what I say and you do not contact them, that it will solve itself. Wow. I said, well, I don't believe it, but I better listen to it because what else am I going to do? On Sunday, I was going to contact him on Monday. On Sunday, I received an email from PayPal, and it said, your funds are being released.
Yeah.
So that's where I started to have not a healthy respect, but like I said, oh, maybe he got lucky. But when I reached out to you, and then everything lined up, like mathematical precision. And you could have told me in advance all the adversity I was going to have, but I think you were just being, you knew I had had enough, and I probably was not ready for that. So, but you guided me every step of the way, every time. Should I make this decision? How do I make this decision? Is this a good decision? You look at the chart. Every advice you've given me so far have been spot on. So how can you help the people who are listening today? Guy, I mean, how do you work with them? What's the process? I mean, we knew each other.
Okay.
So someone wants to reach you. They say, wow, I'm intrigued. I want to know what path I need to take. I need to contact Guy.
First of all, I have a website. My name is Guy Matarasso, and you can, and my brand name is Astrology, like astrology, but with GUY, Astrology. Now, my website, www.astrology.com. This is my email also, and you can contact me by Skype. My Skype also is G Matarasso. Matarasso is with double S. And we set up an appointment. The session takes around 1 hour. I always recommend to record the session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I record the session for my clients. I give it to them on a disc, or like it's on MP3 file. And I do the chart reading for the people. I do the progressions, and I also answer immediate question. Now that's called a horary astrology. Horary chart means the chart for the hour. Well, it's like channeling. Let's say when you ask me a question, I open a chart for that moment, and I can find you lost articles. I can tell you things with the exact time. If you are, you want to buy a house, you want to when is the best time to sell something or to move, or you lost your jewelry. You don't know where's your golden ring or stuff.
Oh yes,
and
you've got a story about that. There was a young man who was leaving for a flight, and he had lost his passport.
Yes.
You share that story. See, folks, this guy's for real. So you remember the story I'm talking about?
Of course, This is a question asked me one of my student, and she has told me that her son and his wife needed to go to London. They had the flight ticket. They need to be on the way to the airport like 1 hour from now, and they cannot find their passport. Now the flight is leaving, and they have no clue where the passport is. She was so nervous,
I'll bet.
and and I opened the chart immediately and said, "Listen, the passport is in your house, in the mother's house." And she said, "But how can it be? Because they moved all the stuff from their house." I said, "Listen, it's in your place, and not that. More than that, it's in a white bag."
You're telling him it's in your mother's house, it's in a white bag.
And I told her that, and said, "Wait a minute, I looked at that bag, but there was nothing in there." And I insisted, and I said, "Open again that bag, it's in there." So after 10 minutes, she called me and she screams on the phone and said, God, how did you do it?" She took the white bag, she put it over and took everything out from there, and there it was, the passport. It was there. To the airport. No, it is unbelievable. And we published it on Facebook, and she wrote me later, and she said, "I'm shocked." Now she was one of my students because I'm teaching astrology. Everybody can learn astrology, and she was one of my students, my horary student.
Wow, how about that? That's powerful. So all that by, first of all, you have technology. It's a software. But you had to learn how to read. I mean, you give me that software, I'll look at it, it'll look like a traffic controller's blip on a radar. I won't know what to make of it.
Everyone can learn astrology. And I recommend that everybody should learn astrology because it will make their lives so easy. You know why? Because if you meet somebody and you know his sun sign and you know his chart and you know where the planets are, you know what he loves, what he hates, you can forgive him for being like that person, okay? Or you can love him for what he is. You can speak to him with a different language because you know him, okay? And when you know and you know his character, so there's less fighting, there's less problems. You know exactly if you are, you will be friends or you be enemies, or it can make shortcuts, a lot of shortcuts. Wow.
Well, you know what? Before I moved here, like doing my research, then I meet this lady, and it's like at the beginning, okay, all right. But within a couple of days, I'm realizing there's an energy in it. Oh, there's something in the making here. Now, she doesn't see that, but I see it. So I remember reaching out to you. I don't know how long it took. I probably took a few weeks, 2-3 weeks after I was talking with her just about every day. I gave you her birthday, and I didn't have her time of birth, I don't believe, but I had her birthday, and I knew where she had been born. And you looked at their chart, and you said, you could not find a better match for a Sagittarian. And I went, here we go again. This is amazing. And I've got a beautiful, loving relationship. Not that it didn't go unchallenged, because there's challenges. Cultural, language. I mean, I didn't speak a word of Portuguese. She didn't speak a word of English. But we've been together for over a year now. She's celebrating her birthday tomorrow. So after failing, right? You know the relationship I had for 17 years. After failing in that relationship, I'll tell you, truthfully, I didn't have the confidence to go back into another relationship. Or if I was starting to pick it up, but I wanted to make sure. So Guy advised me. He could have said, no, total polar opposite is going to be. But it happened. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind.
I have to tell you something. In 2006, we met in Costa Rica. When I come to the retreat, and I met all these wonderful people, then people ask me, first of all, over there I also found the lost article for one of the participants. It was funny. I brought her exactly to the room, to the shelf, to the wall where it was hidden, and she found it. It was like, wow. And
I guess, wow.
Remember that I did a chart for you without you knowing, and I know everything that it's gonna be, like the relationship is gonna end. And I was like, in a very diplomatic conflict with myself, how to tell it, how to, to raise it, and I saw the problems back then.
In 2006, wow. Yeah, well, no, you're right. There was problems in 2005. We tried to patch it up. We stretched it with a lot of pain until August 2009. Again, folks, all this, sometimes our ego says, or our cultural upbringing or our religious upbringing says, you got to stick it out. It's just not our path. And we're fighting against it, and we're living a miserable life. We're not on this planet to live a miserable life.
Right.
We're here to be in flow. If we're happy, if we're in flow, if things are happening for us, we're more dynamic. People are attracted. We're all magnets. You attract, Guy attracts, we attract collectively. So to know that there's a channel by the name of Guy Matarazzo at astrology.com who can give you the path. I knew I had to do something different, but I didn't know where. For a while, I wanted to jump off the top of a building. That was not the right way of doing it. Yeah. So, but you saw it way early, and you never told me. You allowed the course. You allowed it to unfold.
I never told you because you have to be very sensitive because who am I to come and to tell you something that you didn't come and ask me about?
That's it. I didn't ask. In June 23rd, 2012, I went to you and I asked.
And when you ask me, so that's what I told to my client. If you dare to ask me, get my answer, because I'm telling you straight what I see, without any excuses, without any reductions. I see the truth. I'm telling you it, and be strong and brave to know what I see. If I see good things, right away. If I see bad things, I will tell you right away also.
Yes.
But if you don't ask me, I will not tell you.
Right. Wow. Well, we're going to wrap it up, but Bobby D Live is a different, and again, is based on your advice. I was promoting only music. You said stop promoting music. Now I still love music. You said go into business consulting again. So basically, through Bobby D Live, I'm not doing the consulting as much as I'm connecting potential clients to consultants. And look, I attracted. You didn't know. I don't know if you caught the announcement. We got a corporate sponsor to sponsor Bobby D Live for a full year as of Friday afternoon officially.
It's just beginning.
It's just the beginning. So what do you see? You saw the chart the other day. I'm an open book. You can share with our viewing audience what you see for the future of what we're doing here. And I say we because I can't do this alone. There's a lot of unsung heroes behind the scene.
A year ago, I told you that you will be back on your leg in no time, and it took you 1 year to do that. In a year from now, you will be a millionaire again. Okay?
Well, we can do a lot of good with that money, huh?
Yes, a lot of fortune.
Well, that's
But
good. Wow.
remember, where have you been 1 year ago? That's the key. Your success, because if you forget it and you behave like you were a few years ago, okay, then they will take everything from you again.
Yeah.
So, a word of caution here. You always have to remember that you have no money in your pocket 1 year ago.
Oh, I had no money in my pocket in April of this year. I was 3 days away from being on the street in a country where they normally kill people. I mean, not everywhere, but in some places where I am, they'll kill people for $50 in their wallet. The good news was I didn't have $50 in my wallet. But no, you're right. It's being humble through the success by working with people like you. It keeps you humble. And you're right. I did reconnect. I've never cried so much in 1 year. My daughter used to say to me, Guy, Daddy, how come we never see you cry? Well, I was a paramedic. I was trained not to keep your emotions. And when you told me in October, do you really want to know why you're in Brazil now? I said, yeah, now tell me. I said, to reconnect with your heart. And I did. And so to remember the pain, to remember where you come from. And you said something key to me as well, because of my astrological sign being a Sagittarian, that I'm so used to seeing fast results. And I did, but they were up and down like a yo-yo. You said now you're slowing down, you're observing the beauty in your life. You're also going to pay attention to things you never paid attention because you were going too fast before.
Exactly. And with that knowledge and that experience, well, the sky is the limit. And I'm so proud of you. And when you were broken, so with low energy, and and I said to you, Bobby, I believe in you. I believe in what I see. I know I'm not wrong. I see exactly, I see the chart going up. All the energy will take you. Just tune in. That's it.
Tune in.
That's what you are doing now.
We're tuning in. Well, thank you for being part of this inaugural Bobby D Live in Brazil, because, if it wasn't for your advice, this event is not happening today on many levels. Many levels. So, folks, you're at a crossroad, you're not sure. Astrology.com. I typed it in the banner, guy. You'll see it on the archive. Astrology.com. Get a hold of Guy Matarasso. Guy, is it Guy.Matarasso on Facebook, or all one word, all together?
Guy space Matarasso on Facebook.
Let me have a look.
And
it's Guy. No, it's G Matarasso. G Matarasso, your username on Facebook. G Matarasso. Matarasso, folks. He was calling us still calling us from Israel. And here we are. Thank you, man. I'll tell you, and I'll connect with you in the coming weeks again. We need to know more stuff. And I know that your advice is sound, it's real, you're the real deal. And it's not just about astrology, it's about your spirit. You do it for the right reason. A lot of people do astrology, but I don't know. How many people really do with your spirit of service and really, truly wanting to help people be far beyond the financial compensation, man. So I appreciate you, and thank you so much. It's been an incredible journey for 1 year.
thank you, Bob.
And we'll see you soon. All right? Ciao. All right, folks. That is our good buddy, your good buddy. You got to reach out to him if you want some advice on what's the deal with your life. All right? It's everything I told you. Like someone on Facebook the other day was saying, I put a little plug for the interview we're going to do with Guy, and I mentioned, I said, you got to meet the man who told me just move to Brazil and don't ask any questions. So I did, and I had a Facebook friend who said, is that the truth? I said, it's the absolute truth. Absolute 100% truth. There's no distortion in the events, how it happened. It was just absolutely magical. It was one thing after the other, one thing after the other. Once I got here, the adversity was one thing. And then by consulting with Guy, by knowing, he got me through the adversity, by knowing that, daylight follows darkness. I can't stay in the darkness all the time. He says, just believe. Stay on your course, just believe. I wasn't sitting, in a cave meditating. I was proactive, but I was proactive under very difficult conditions. Very difficult, technology-wise. I need technology to do what I do. But like he said, it caused me to slow down and to reevaluate and to do things differently, to work on me, to be silent, to really listen and be observant. And room for improvement every single day. I'm going to tell you, that's what Bobby D Live is all about. Music, friendship, expertise, goal achievement, spiritual development, business development, marketing. I hope you're getting a good flavor of where we're going with it. This is our inaugural show. We'll do a weekly show of about 90 minutes every week, probably Wednesday, probably midweek in the evening. I'll see. I'll make a final decision based on feedback. And that's it. So top of the hour. Oh, my goodness. Top of the hour. I have the other part of the story. Actually, what precedes the story with Guy was the conversation I was having in December 2011 with the fairy godmother. Yeah, she's a business consultant, but she's extremely skilled. And she told me something 10 days before Christmas when I had $10 in my bank account that I just could not believe. I thought the fairy godmother had totally flipped her wig. She will share, and you'll see how her advice in December of 2011, in combination with what Guy told me, and she'll put you through a process. It's called the entry point. I never could have come up with that idea in my own mind. I don't think so, because it wasn't on my radar screen. She gave me an advice, and she said, if you do this going into 2012, you commit to this in 2012, your life is going to change for the better. So she'll be here top of the hour. Wendy Darling, a.k.a. the fairy godmother. What fun.